Lyne's latest film examines a tenuous American marriage that is challenged by infidelity. Unfaithful opens on May 10th. Joining me now, the director and the film stars. They are Diane Lyne and Richard Gere. I'm pleased to have each of them here back at this table. Welcome back. Great to see you.
Hi, Charlie. Good to see
you. How did this come about, this movie? This, in a sense, a remake in part?
Well, I saw Chabrol's movie 30 years ago and always loved it. I was, it was Stéphane Audran and Michel Bouquet.
Right.
Fabulous movie.
Right.
And I said to myself, don't even think of touching it, don't even think of remaking it, because it's so good. And of course, inevitably, I did. But I think this film is very different in a number of respects, in that this film examines for example, the love story, you know, the love affair with the lover, which the Chabrol movie didn't. The Chabrol movie barely sort of touched on that. You saw the lover maybe twice. Once when actually I nearly gave away the ending, so I couldn't. But and the last act in our movie doesn't exist in his, so it was very loosely based on it, I would say.
Tell me who the characters are.
Well, Richard is playing Edward Sumner, who's a man who owns a security company, and his
I'm
wife.
glad he's doing this.
I know you did. So, well, I'm glad to set it up. Nobody's seen the movie.
Thank God I remember
his name. The director here.
And Connie is his wife.
Yeah.
And I think Richard is very different in the movie. I get Richard.
Very.
You would sort of, he's going to kill me, but you would have expected him, I think, probably to be the lover.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he's very different. He plays just a nice guy, a kind of a stay-at-home guy, and somebody
fat
else.
old guy.
A fat old guy. Yeah, right. He's like an old guy with white hair and glasses.
Yeah.
Well, no, he
not
didn't have
so
hair.
white.
No, he actually had brown hair.
I know.
Yeah, he browned me up for this one.
But the irony is that the lover actually looks rather like Richard looked in Days of Heaven. He looks very
Actually,
similar.
Olivier does. It's kind of freaky.
It's uncanny.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
He's got these squinty little eyes like me, and
Yeah.
he does look.
He'd love you for that.
Squinty little eyes. Yeah. Did you notice his squinty little eyes?
Well, it was mentioned that they did look alike, and I couldn't deny it.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be related, which brought a poignancy to when they meet, the husband and lover, I think.
Was this something you automatically wanted to do?
Well, I've always wanted to work with Adrian.
Because
I'm a fan of his
She
movies
lied.
in this.
she's
What?
lying. Was it hard? Was
I
a hard
came
sell
up
for
to
you,
your
wasn't it?
house
It
in
was
that
a hard
dress.
sell, wasn't it?
I didn't even read the script because I was forbidden to.
By?
She was
By
really
him.
good.
Oh, you didn't want to read the script?
He didn't feel it was ready.
Oh.
He wanted to
There've
get
been
it.
so many
He's
drafts
a
of this
control
thing.
guy.
He's a control
It's
guy.
all control.
They're
It's all,
all-
you know these games.
The
She was
director.
great in A Walk
You
on.
don't know anything about that, though, do you, Charles?
No.
She was fabulous in a movie called A Walk on the Moon. Do you see that movie? Wonderful movie that
Yes.
Tony Goldwyn directed. That I saw actually when I saw it on tape when I was in France. I just thought she was amazing.
He's wonderful in it.
Okay, we've got to show some clips here to get people into this and what this movie's about. This is the first one in which you're trying to arrange a lunch with her because you're beginning to suspect that she's
Right.
got something's going on.
Something's happening.
Something's happening. Roll tape.
How about lunch today? You free?
I have all this fundraiser stuff, auction things to pick up.
Do an early one if you want. How about 12?
12.
Yeah.
Will I be hungry at 12?
We could go in together. I'll wait for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be ready to go for at least an hour.
That's all right. I'll wait.
Oh, I just remembered. I have a facial at 12:30 at Georgiana's today.
Oh. You gotta stay beautiful, right? Georgiana's, huh? Waste of money.
As we're watching this, you said you loved watching with an audience last night. You were petrified, but you loved it because the audience was right there with you.
Well,
They laugh when-
obviously, look, we're, as actors and the director, obviously, he's designing the rhythms of this piece, and the storytelling is coming from his point of view. And you're leading an audience in a certain way. To have an audience who's right there with you within the rhythms of how he's editing and how we're playing it is very satisfying.
It shows the director's connecting and the actors are connecting.
They're breathing with us watching this film. You can feel
Yeah,
it.
there's not much dialogue in this movie, which you pointed out before.
It's
a
almost a
silent movie.
silent film, and it's all subtext.
It's funny.
There's a lot of silences,
A lot
it's
of
true,
silence.
isn't it? Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Was that on purpose?
comparatively.
Well, you know, I've always liked doing films where you can sort of put your feet in the shoes of the actors, you know, so that the audience can live kind of vicariously through them in sort of horrible situations. I always think that's fun.
It really is true here. I mean, I think about it. I mean, I'm always wanting to know what's going through your mind. Why are you doing this? And it's mainly
because I think they recognize themselves in these two characters, you know.
But I
Older
think in
woman.
real life too. I mean, we're playing a married couple. We've been married 11 years, I think I say in the film. We knew each other before that. I think when you're around someone a long time, you don't necessarily be jabbering at each other a lot. Everyone has their internal monologue that's going on, and the subtext of the opera of this movie is real strong without having to say any words. It's iconically strong.
subtext of this opera is what?
Well, each one is in their private subtext.
There's a nice
Mine
moment,
is
I think.
something's wrong and trying to figure out what is wrong.
Does she have this affair because something is wrong, or does she have this affair because it just happened? And so it's this other lover found something, offered something.
Well, we go back to the metaphors that Adrian is so good at. Wait a minute.
Sorry.
Yeah, wait.
The
Exactly.
wind blew over the bicycle. And I was like, oh, well, there you are. You never know when the wind's going to blow over your bicycle because there was no justification built into the plot for her infidelity. And I
And we want to stay away from
relished that.
Yeah.
I relished that because that's how it is in life.
It's
I
really
mean,
important, I think.
There
that-
is no, you have a reason? No. And with this guy being the husband, I was going to get, like, there better be a good reason.
Yeah, right. He better offer something.
Oh, I mean, so it's your own, I think it's your own human frailty, weakness, not doing your homework on your inner life
It's
in a
important that-
relationship that you're vulnerable to an invasion.
All right, take a look at this. This is we're still in this sort of questioning of business. This is where Richard questions Diane, Edward versus Connie. Here it is.
Can I get you anything?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Tough day.
Not really. What about you? How was your day?
It's good. You know, the usual stuff. Sure you don't want anything?
No. Con,
Yeah,
do you love me?
of course I love you. What a silly question.
I guess I'm just feeling silly. Be up in a minute.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, we're watching that, and what he came up with what, or you came up with
Flipping
what?
off the light switch, which is, for me, it was a moment of genius metaphor because she doesn't want to turn off the light in that room.
Doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't want to see what she's
How did it come up?
brought.
Do you remember how it came up?
We were having a discussion. We were constantly sharing stories that we might be able to tap into for
Right.
body language and little things.
It's kind of a Freudian moment, isn't it? When she-
And you came up with that.
she-
I was like, good. I'm so
But-
glad. Usually it comes up the day after you've shot the scene.
Here's what I hear from just what the three of you have said so far, that he's constantly there, and there's a lot of things going on this set that weren't necessarily there in the script.
Well, that's
I'm trying to
true.
make this
Yeah,
a level
that's true,
above just sort of
Yes.
improvisation, but
Oh, it's a really good script, too.
I understand that. But here I hear two or three stories. I mean, you know, you were there saying that was good when during one of the moments of sex. Or,
He would yell like Fellini.
I think it's always nice
Very
when you can make give a scene a kind of a hook, you know, something that makes it specific rather than generic. I remember that love scene that you remember on the train, you know, when we talked about, I remember saying, I want you to be trembling in it. I want you to be shaking like a leaf.
You showed me the film in your trailer. You stole that
It's
blatantly
true.
from a German movie with 2 lesbians.
It's true. I did.
And it was a direct lip.
You're
No,
so vicious.
It's you are awful.
I did.
You are.
I stole it. It's absolutely right.
Sorry, did I betray you? No, but it's an honor.
I remember this.
He's mad at me now.
Actually,
because
it was a fabulous movie.
Sorry.
Shall I tell you what movie it was?
Did you
But it's
steal in
good.
this?
No,
It was a great movie called Amy and Jaguar.
Specific.
Do you ever see that?
No.
It's a German movie. Thank God not many people saw it.
I am now, though.
I did see it. It's a terrific
But
film.
she was shaking like a leaf in it, and it was the most erotic thing I've ever seen.
And you
because-
wanted me to do it.
I
You
did.
told me. And
And it was, yes, that's not so shameless, is it?
No.
And it was the excitement at what was going to happen, which I think quite often is more exciting than when it actually does
Absolutely.
happen.
The
You know,
anticipation.
the 10 seconds
That's the
before, are
illicitness.
pretty good, tough to beat, you know. So that was the kind of hook for it. And I remember seeing her shaking and trembling like this. And I remember thinking to myself, did she practice that? Did you practice it? Did you? You must
Tell
have
the
done.
truth.
oh, actors discussing their process.
But did you do it? But did you do it in the mirror and stuff? I mean, she's really
No.
amazing, isn't
She's
it?
not a mirror actress. Come on now.
I'm not going down
No,
this
but
path.
I'm-
Save us, Charlie. How about it?
All right.
All right. You're on.
Sir,
Sir.
this role, I mean, it's not what we expect from you.
No, I
Tell
read
him the
script.
story about your wife when you went her for
No,
lunch.
you love this
I
story.
do like
you
the
just
story.
Anyhow, when the script came to me to begin with, and I'd read it a long time ago, and we
Read
didn't
the script
really
a long
talk
time
about
ago or
it.
seen the movie a
He
long
got
time
to
ago?
read it.
No, we read the script. It was right after Alvin did it.
Yes,
Somehow I
the
read it
first
at that
screenplay,
point.
yeah.
And it came to me and it was, which part do you want to play it? And it was, the husband seemed the more interesting part to me.
Because?
Because there was a change. You see someone deconstruct.
Yeah.
And the range of deconstruction was huge.
And we worked really hard on the way he walked, the way he ran, just to make it, because he's an athletic man. He's a jock, really, something of a jock. And so we really went against that, didn't we?
Well, constantly, he had a yardstick, and every time I would move a little too gracefully, whack!
There's a
So
moment-
what is he? But wait, but what did you intend for the character to be?
Just
a normal guy.
Just a
Just a
normal
regular
guy.
guy.
As
Just a
frumpy
nice
as
guy,
they
really.
could get
Scrumpy.
Richard to be.
a little
Completely
nerdy.
lacking-
Nut.
A
Something
little
completely lacking in
nerdy, a
style.
little bit.
You were sending
just
troughs of food into his
I
trailer.
did, yes, I sent...
Gain
I-
weight in the middle of the movie. You know, and I succeeded. He wanted us
Why
both
would
to
it
get
make it more
frumpy.
interesting to have
Wardrobe
him
didn't fit.
athletic, attractive, and why doesn't that make the point even better? Because of what happened was the bicycle being knocked off the ground, or knocked off by the wind. Why wouldn't it be more interesting if he was as he is?
I don't know. 'cause
it's just another way of doing it. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought this was an interesting way, too.
You changed the ending. We have to discuss that without telling you what you changed it from to.
Well, it was actually, it was Alvin's original...
It's changing
Alvin's
it back.
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
because the
Fighting
studio
to
screwed
keep
it
the
up.
original.
No,
Evil
studio-
studio,
they were
evil
actually
bad
very-
studio.
I'm going to back them up here. They were really quite sweet. They
Yeah.
let us.
No,
let us go back to
Yeah.
the original
That's true.
ending, which
In
were
the end.
because I sort of made a fuss at the end, and we tried really hard for your kind of Gary Cooper ending, right? And it just
Shane kind of thing.
well, it was yes, it was a kind of a heroic ending.
Yeah, right.
It was better. The way that we have it now is kind of more ambiguous and much more interesting.
Adult.
Why is it much more?
You're left with a question.
You like it
An
better?
answer.
You all like it better?
Yeah, much
Absolutely. It was
better.
the original. It was non-capitulating.
It has real poetry
And
to it.
the pity is some
now.
people have reviewed the movie with the other ending.
That's because that's what they saw at all the
Yeah.
screenings,
Of course.
like
Actually,
me.
Rolling Stone did, funny enough.
And they like that as well.
Occurred to me
Yeah.
because it changes it completely.
Well, it
I
does,
mean,
yeah.
That last.
It makes it less
seconds?
of a, quotes, Hollywood movie.
You know,
really.
I've never had an experience with actors here, and where you guys are talking more about the movie.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great. That's
The
what I
effect
like.
of the movie.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
No, we happen to
whatever it
really
is,
like the movie,
That's
too.
what I'm getting
That's
at.
the issue.
You just liked it.
We really like the movie, yeah. We're really proud of it.
Roll tape one last clip because there's a confrontation between Edward
They have
and
it.
Paul. Here it is. Roll tape.
So tell me, how did you meet my wife?
By accident. On the street. There was a windstorm, she hurt her knee and...
You're him.
She She told you about that?
Yes. How's it going?
Fine. Fine, I mean, okay.
This is where you meet.
Yes.
She likes it?
Well, I guess she never complained.
Do you stay in all the time, or do you go out, too?
It depends. Sometimes, yes, we go out.
She likes that? She likes this neighborhood?
Oh, yeah. More exciting than the suburbs, I guess.
Do you know that we have been married 11 years? We have a son.
You just said an interesting thing. He has no clue as to why he's there.
No, he just shows up. He's drawn.
The man who goes to where his
lost
wife's
to
lover.
the flame, and it's the only way I can make. We all suffer. We all have pain, and it's easier to process it when you have. I mean, you can measure it. You can objectify it. You put a face to it. You put a place to it. You put a chair to it. You put the bed to it. The pain is when it's too nebulous, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but you can measure it. He kind of walks around this room. He doesn't come there with the intention of hurting this guy or confronting him in a kind of stupid physical way. He doesn't really know why he's there, and it's in moving through the room that he discovers why he's there, and what he's dealing with inside of himself. And Adrian was very clear about this. From the very first meeting we had about this movie, we talked about that scene and how to approach it. And you'd always seen this as kind of a Pinteresque scene, where there's an enormous volcanoes of menacing energy
That was
the
a scene about silences as well as long sort of gaping sort of moments when you're wondering what's going to happen. And it has a huge underlying. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to pipe up because these are scenes that I wasn't in, so I had no idea, and I was just deliciously watching and seeing the other side of the movie. And I understood something about male vulnerability as an audience. You know, seeing it was fascinating. It's a foreign territory. This is what Adrian does with the genders and the subject matter and sexuality and where we meet and cross our wires. But I really understood. I got it. And he gave that performance that let me understand that. You did. Sorry. But I'm just saying, you know, to see the scene, what my character doesn't know, was very revealing to me about male vulnerability, which is an important part of the male psyche that women don't get to understand.
You can imagine a woman there, but you can't imagine a man there.
Thank you.
He wears glasses all the way through the movie, he wears his own glasses, which is quite funny. He says it's the first time he'd seen his leading lady in 15 years.
I'm seeing too much. I don't want to see all these details.
It's true. It's like half the time I'm imagining
it's a blur,
what the actor is doing.
And it works for you.
And then, based on what I'm imagining them to do, I react to that. And I hit about 90%, I think. But I actually could see what Diane was doing in this movie.
The movie is called Unfaithful. Director Adrian Lyne, Richard Gere, Diane Lane. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was
Thanks,
terrific
Charlie.
to have you here.
Pleasure. Thanks so much.